So hey folks, so in the last video we have seen how we can write a script for get request and how we can perform a load test by using K6 tool. So before we begin with another request type, that is post request, I recommend you folks to visit my previous video for performance testing using get request. So this one I have added as a playlist into my channel, that is Pro Estate with AJ. So let's begin. So I have created a collection of post request as well. You can see this is the request domain, and request endpoint is API/user. In order to work it or to provide the authorization for this, we had to provide this XAPI key, which is publicly available on reqres.in website. So if you hit this request, it will create one record with name Morpheus and job title as leader. So if I hit that, you can note that the request is succeed, and the status code we get back is 201. The name, the job ID is created, the created at the timestamp is appended with the record. So how we can write a script, load script, by using K6 for this is, let's move on to IntelliJ IDEA. I'll just most of the part that we have discussed in last video, we are going to use the same. So I'll just copy the same file. We'll make it Tutorial2. We'll name it as post request, and I'll save it. So one additional file get appended here. Now this we will use to edit. Okay, so rest of the import functions, this HTTP module imported from K6, and then some functions we have imported from K6, like sleep is to pause the program, pause the script. Then group, if we are dealing with chaining of APIs, we would need these groups. Check function is actually used to validate something, like if we want to assert something like status code, here we are asserting as 200, right? So this function is required. Now let's edit this same const as API key, the same API key we are using for authorization. Next step is we will change the group name here. Since we are using post request, I'll name it as post, and the URL we had to change. I'll get it copied from Postman. That's it. Then a const header, which would be again calling this API key. Response, here actually we are hitting this get request, we had to change it to post, and additionally we have to stringify this. But before, we had to define the payload, because in Postman we had to pass the body, right? So the name and the job title, if we pass through payload, it will create a new entry into the databases, right? So let's begin and define another constant here as payload. So I'll put const payload. So this will have a value like an array. We can define the key value pairs, so you can follow me. Name, I'll just put whatever was sent there, right? Name, comma, this would be the job. I'll just put a value same as here. That's it. So we have defined our payload. But the thing is, when we send this Morpheus, right, always it will create a record with name Morpheus, right? So since REQ RES, they are allowing entry with same name, but many of the times in our real-time application we can't create a records with same name. In that case probably we should be using something like random first name, right? So every time if you hit this request, right, it will, what happened, that has to be in double quotes, so it will assume it as a string. So it created a record with Messia, Elnora, right? So every time we hit the request, a new record with new name got added into the databases. So same way, since we are going to perform a load test, right, the same request is going to hit multiple times. So we should randomize this record. Probably we can do this with some math function, math.floor, right? Here I'll put math.random, and just randomize this. So what will happen, it will pick this first name, and this math floor function will just pick one of the number from, let's say I'll put 1 lakh, something like that. So one random number it will pick and it will append with the record, right? That's it. So we while doing a load testing, we should take care of the records that we are creating. Otherwise, if your application is not allowing similar entries, then in that case your payload will get rejected by 4xx errors, right? So that's how you can define the payload. Next is we have to call that payload in our post request, right? So before you call this post request, we should append that payload that just now we have created. So for that I'll just put json dot stringify, into bracket I'll put payload, whatever we have defined here. We have to put a comma, right? So let's run. For time being I'll just enable this log so that we can see what entry got created. I'll just save, I'll put k6 run, and I'll just give the path to that script. Oh, we got error. Still we have error. It says object has no member. Okay, probably I put S capital. Now let's try again. What was the issue? I guess it got succeeded, but yeah. So you can notice that our expected exit code, expected status code was 201, and in the script we were expecting it is as 200, so that's why the script got failed. I'll just change it to 201. Say I'll save it. Now this time the test will the script will get pass. Yeah, I'll change the message as well. Yep. So you can see the record got created. You got the ID, you got at what time it got created and all, right? So now we are all set to perform a load test. So we know case 6 run. Here we need to define the duration for which the load test has to be performed. I'll put 60 seconds. Then we have to define the virtual users. I want virtual users to be 10. Then I'll define required RPS. I need RPS of 10, and then I'll just copy the path of the script and start it. I'll pause the video for now, till then it gets completed. Okay, almost 50 to 53, 55 seconds are done. And here we got the results for this post request. Okay, let's check. So total requests sent were 609. Checks performed, checks succeeded are 54%. Checks failed are 45%. Probably we have hit more RPS, so we can try reducing the RPS and virtual users. These are the metrics for average response time, minimum time, median, max, 90th percentile, 95th percentile. You can see more details like what views are used here, what data has been exchanged while this transactions happened. So here also I suspect that pods went into the crash loop. That's why we got some non 201 statuses. So if you try reducing the RPS and number of virtual users, you will get all successful results. Yeah, that's how you can perform a load test for post request. In the next lecture we will proceed with patch, put, delete, other request types. Yeah, thank you, stay tuned, bye bye.